Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Total Drama Multiverse. I am very excited for this episode because this one has a lot more lore than the other ones. Especially the next episode. That one doesn't have any lore. And then the episode after is when the actual games begin. Honestly, there's not really much intro left, so I might as well just start. Alright, so we pick up where we left off. Chris is pissed because they've been here for way too long and they've been capturing all these people and putting them in their respective cells. Now, I did actually skip us 2 cells, cell 8 and cell 10. And also Tails never got into a cell because the explosion happened right as he was rifted here. So cell 8 we'll get to and cell 10 we'll get to. But we start at Chris's penthouse with Lauren, aka Scary Girl. Chris sat in his penthouse on the other side of the island pissed. The 3rd season was supposed to start over 5 months ago. They said it would only be a few weeks. Plus, they built a huge wall around the whole island, and not to mention the fact that Chef won't answer his calls, or that most of the cast is now back in school. Not everyone, though. Huh? Who's there? I'm armed, Chris said, holding 2 Emmy Awards. Oh, don't worry, it's only me. Lauren climbed down from the ceiling and waved at Chris. Whoa. Scary Girl, how long have you been here? Oh, since the season ended. I would have gone home, but I'm not saying that, but you can read it. But it would be how she would say it. I'll just say, but Mom and Dad said I wasn't allowed back until I became normal. I tried that, and we all know how that turned out. So I decided to stay back here. This place is way cooler than that funeral home anyways. By the way, you do know that they locked up Chef in that containment center, right? They what? Chris shouted in anger. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. He drove up to the island in his boat, and when he went to see what was going on at the dig site, some guards ran over and arrested him. Then, while I was sneaking around in the containment center, I saw him sleeping in one of the cells. That's it. I'm done with this whole thing. Screw the money. This is my island. But how am I supposed to stop the whole government operation? Well, I may have gathered a few things that could help. So basically what is happening here is Scary Girl has been living on the island and she's been sneaking around and seeing everything that's happened. So she already has seen everybody in here. And she also has snuck into the armory from last time where she's picked up a lot of things that she just wants and thinks look cool. So she and Chris are now planning to infiltrate the entire base and break in and bust everybody out. So that's exactly what happens. Chris and Scary Girl leave the next morning and bust through the front gate. Now, Cell 1 is the closest to them, so they end up busting Zeke out because Chris knows Zeke. And then, so he's like, okay, we gotta get him. And then they just eventually decide to just go and get everybody. So, which everybody here is gonna be perfectly fine with that, because as far as they know, all of the government people are the bad guys that have helped them for months. So they go through the cells, and they get Ashley, they get Marcy, they get Luz. They just go through, they're getting everybody, and they're using their powers, which none of these 3 actually have any powers right now, but they're using whatever they can do to get further in. Then they break out Jinx, and Jinx is finally another person who's willing to shed blood along with Scary Girl. So that's when they start deciding to kill guards. At least these 2 do. They get Applejack out, they get Dipper out, and that leads us to Cell 8, which is Star. And also, Scary Girl is giving the people, when they break them out, different weapons from across the universe and different or the multiverse, and different items to help them. So then we get to Cell 8, which is Star Butterfly. Star sat in her cell, very confused. One moment she was sitting in class, goofing off with Marco, the next she was here. As she sat in her cell trying to find her wand, suddenly there was a huge explosion that destroyed most of Star's cell. You were so right, Scary Girl. These antimatter grenades are awesome. Right, Chris? It's crazy they just leave all this stuff in that rinky-dink armory. Lauren, which is Scary Girl, then spotted Star rubbing her head on the ground. Yo, Rainbow Girl, I think this wand thing belongs to you. Here, take it. We're busting you all out of here. Star had no clue what was going on, but if they were helping her, then she was going to help them. Again, we will come to the wish thing in the next episode, so just ignore that for now. So Star joins their cause, and then they go through, they get Spider-Man, and then there's Chef. Chef is where we get a lot of lore. Okay. Chef, come on, buddy, wake up, we gotta move. Chris, is that you? Yeah, me and the creep from last season are busting you all out. Chris nodded behind him. Chef looked over and was shocked to see Scary Girl and a few others fighting guards in the hall. Scary Girl said there should only be, or you were the last person to break out. Then we can raid the main control room and then take control of the shard. Once we do that, we should be able to. Suddenly, Jinx yelled from the hallway, "Take cover!" One of the guards had fired an RPG, but thankfully Star was able to make a force field in time. Unfortunately, the force field wasn't big enough to reach Chris or Chef. Chris looked up to see Chef standing over him, covered in blood. He had blocked the blast. Chris, look at me, he said through heavy breathing. I don't know what the hell is going on, but you need to win this, for me. Chef's body collapsed and hit the ground with a hard thud. Chef, no, please wake up. Chris wiggled his now lifeless body. Ashley entered the room. Chris, was it? The spider guy is taking most of the children outside, and us adults are ready to raid the main control room. So are you? She sees Chris sobbing over Chef's body. Oh Lord. She throws up. And yep, Chef Hatchet is dead. So that's nice. And then I should add a new thing, and this is going to be, I forgot to add this before the video started, but this is going to be Spider-Man's team. That is not right. Spider-Man's team and Chris's team. I can't spell. Chris is team. So Spider-Man left, and then he's taking everyone who doesn't want to be here because it's getting gory now out of the place. So Zeke wants out, Marcy wants out, Luz wants out, Applejack wants out, Dipper wants out, and Star wants out. So most of the people end up leaving. Everyone except for these four. Just because they're either adults or Scary Girl. And Chris wants revenge. This leads us to the main control room. There's a lot of guards and scientists, but the main three that are in here are right here. And I can scroll down because these are the ones that aren't in the episode, so just ignore them. So then we have the head scientist. Lauren blew through the metal door with the dead guard's RPG. Sup, fuckers, this place is ours now. Get down, Mr. President. A guard tackled Trump out of the way just before Jinx shot him with her newly regained minigun. Sir, are you okay? My ear. I've been shot in my ear. If you know, you know. Don't worry, sir. It's going to be show no mercy, Chris yells as he, Ashley, Lauren, and Jinx rush into the room. They all begin to attack the guards with any weapons they can find in the vault, or the armory. And after a hard-fought battle, all that remained was the head scientist and the president, who had been hiding behind an overturned table. Chris ran up to the head scientist and punched him in the face. You took everything from me, he said, pushing the head scientist towards the shard. My island, my show, and then my best friend. Please, be reasonable, the doctor begged. Oh, it's far too late for that now. Say hi to Satan for me, will ya? Chris shoved the head scientist into the shard, specifically the part of the shard that makes people just seemingly disappear. So he is possibly dead. So there you go. And then we'll do that. Remember, Spider-Man's team is trying to evacuate. So then we have the big one. After the battle, these four are just staying in here, with Trump is hiding and Tails is just lifeless on the ground still. So Chris, there's so many words on this next one. Chris steps back from the shard. It was over. He looked over and saw Tails waking up. Where am I? What's going on? Ashley rushed over and helped him up. Hey buddy, you okay? She said calmly. I think so. Wait, is that a... Don't look at the bodies. They were all bad guys anyway. Hey Chris, said Jinx. The hell we do now? Chris looked over to her. You and Scary Girl work on dumping the bodies into the shard. He then looked at Tails. Hey Fox Kid, this monitor says you have an insane IQ. You think you can help me figure out this machine? Yeah, sure, let me see. Tails analyzed the stabilizer for about 30 minutes and eventually came to a conclusion. This is amazing. With this computer, we can pull anything from other universes into this one and vice versa. Perfect, Chris said, smirking. Looks like Total Drama is back on. Chris had always used game shows as a way of coping, whether it be with his parents' divorce or his brother's death. That's made up. That's not in the real Total Drama. But now it would be for Chef. What are you talking about? Tails asked. Look, eventually I will send you all home at the exact moment as you were before. But there are currently 11 people on this island other than myself. If I can double that number, I could make a whole new season of my game show. Oh yeah, Jinx scoffed, and what's in it for us? I'll give the winner anything they could ever want using the shard. Please just let me have this. I'm so in. Scary Girl raises her hand. So she agrees. If they agree, they go over here and ignore Chris. And I just got voted out of a game show too. Ashley raises her hand, so she's in. Well, if it'll help you with your grief, then I guess. Tails raises his hand. And then Spider-Man comes out from behind a boulder that was blocking the only entrance in. Well, I guess we're all in too, Peter says while moving a bunch of rubble out of the doorway. So everyone else comes in and nods in agreement. So all of these people are all in, which just leaves Tails, Trump, and Jinx. Or not Tails, Trump and Jinx. So then, well, Peter says moving a bunch of rubble out of the doorway. All the other people enter the room and nod in agreement. Fine, I'm in then. Jinx raises her hand. By the way, you need fingerprint access, so we're all kind of stuck, Peter says. I can help with that if you don't kill me, Trump says, getting out from behind the table, ear bleeding. Well, this is perfect, Chris exclaimed. Hello, 12th contestant. Wait, what? Well, it's either this or death, so... Okay, fine, I'll do whatever, just don't hurt me. Good. Now, let me get 10 more contestants, and we will start the first season of Total Drama Multiverse. Alright, so that is all we have for this episode, but it's only 11 minutes long, so I think I'm actually going to go ahead and go through the wishes for every contestant that's already in this, so not any of these people. So, if I go over here, we'll start with Donald Trump. We're just going to go in order of what they were before. So, Donald Trump, if he wins, his wish is to run for president in 2028 because he can't actually do that, but that's still his wish. So if he wins, that's what he wants. If Ezekiel wins, he's shown interest in rap before, especially at the beginning of World Tour, ours. His wish is to be the #1 rapper. Then we have Ashley's wish. Now this one's a bit darker. Ashley's, all her horses and her barn all burned down because of her having a party. So she wants to bring back her horses from the fire because she's still sad about that. Then there's Marcy. As for Marcy just wants to live in her favorite RPG game, Vagabond Chronicles. I cannot pronounce that, but that's what it is in the show, with her friends Anne and Sasha. So something like Amphibia. And then Lou's probably the most obvious one here if you actually know the character. Her wish is to become the greatest witch. Then Arcane, this version of Jinx just wants to take over Piltover. I'm using a simplified version of Arcane lore just because I have only seen season 1, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch season 2, so I'm just using this simplified version. This leads to Applejack, and Applejack, if she wins, she wants her and all her friends to have full access to equestrian magic. That's all she wants, because that would be very, very helpful. And then there is Dipper. Dipper's wish, if he wins, is to learn all the secrets of the multiverse. Why? Because he's a nerd. Literally, that's it. Then Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Spider-Man, so he wishes for world peace and no more supervillains to ever exist. So that's Spider-Man's wish. Then there's Tails Prower. Tails just wants access to multiversal travel because, again, nerd, but also he's like a mechanic and he wants to discover things. So that's what he wants. And then as for Scary Girl, her wish is literally just chaos. She just wants chaos. That can mean a multitude of different things. And finally, Star, she just wants to have Marco fall in love with her because, of course, she does. But yeah, that's everybody's wish. We'll go over these people on Wednesday. These are the remaining contestants that Chris is gonna pull in with the stabilizer. We'll go through what they were doing and what their wish is, and then in episode 4 on Saturday, we will start the game show. I think I might have said Friday earlier, but I mean Saturday. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one, and bye.